It's Thursday night. It's March the 4th. The shot callers are back. It's Rich's birthday. Did y'all know it's my birthday?
Happy birthday. Why were
Uh,
you
Happy
working on your
birthday, man.
birthday, man?
Yeah,
Come
wait,
on.
why'd you work?
I just slipped my mind. But that's not what the people are here for. The people are here for the New Orleans Pelicans facing off against the Miami Heat with Jimmy Buckets. I'm Rich, founding member of the Shot Callers. I got Kyle right here. How you doing, Kyle?
Doing pretty good. How about y'all? How y'all doing?
Robin?
I'm good, I'm good.
Good. Glad to have you guys back. Glad to be back. And before we jump into it, got to do the housekeeping real quick. Please follow us on. I was about to say NBA.com. We are not on NBA.com, but we are on Twitter. We are on Instagram at
Could
the
you
Shot
imagine?
Callers or at Shot Callers Show. We are on Podcast Forum, anywhere podcasts can be found and sold, on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on Anchor, on Breaker. Please let us know what you think. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be great. Tell your friends if you like us. Tell them to subscribe, like and subscribe. And we are on YouTube. Just search up the Shot Callers NBA Podcast. We should come right up. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Leave us a comment so we can interact with you. And you guys know we'll interact because we be interacting on Twitter. All three of us be
hmm
having them Twitter fingers, the trigger fingers. And that's it for the housekeeping. I'm going to go ahead and throw this over to Kyle. Kyle, let's jump right into our one game night. It was more exciting than
Yeah.
I thought it might have been, right? So,
Yeah. It
how,
started out pretty interestingly for both teams. I mean, for Miami, Kelly Olynyk got off to a hot start. You wouldn't expect a guy like him to get off to a start like that. Jimmy Butler was set him up perfectly, and he was getting some good passes in. So he got Miami off to a good start. Uh, you know. Duncan Robinson had a couple of good touches. I mean, obviously for both teams, they were missing some pretty big players for each team. Like Miami's missing Bam, just with a like he's having or his knee hurts, so but it's nothing serious, thankfully. And then Zion's out, preparing for the All-Star game. He has a toe injury, which in my opinion sounds really funny. Like a big guy like Zion, oh, you gotta watch out. Like you might break your toe is hurting or something. It just sounds funny to me.
Kyle, you're
But
speaking like a man that's never had toe pain. That shit is
Uh,
serious.
okay, you're right. Yeah,
And
that's
it
a
is
good point. That's a
sensitive.
good point. That's a good point. But yeah, Miami got off to a great start. The Pelicans defense, it just wasn't there, and just throughout the whole game, they were really missing Zion. Like the offense was not flowing as smoothly as they wanted it to. I mean, Lonzo was doing what he could, and so was Brandon Ingram, keeping him in the game. But Miami, throughout the whole first half, they had a pretty solid hold on the lead until the end of the third. Coming back from halftime, Josh Hart, at the end of the third, hit a buzzer-beating half-court three, gave him a little bit of momentum into the fourth,
Oh, before
and
you go
then
on to the fourth,
yeah,
but Josh Hart hit that three like he was shooting a free throw. Like he made that three and he was like,
I
"Yeah, I
know,
do this all the
yeah,
time. I'm going straight back to the locker room." There was no.
I
It was
know,
he was so
yeah,
stoic, no
uh,
reaction. Robin is smiling harder than Josh Hart was smiling. Josh Hart was
he,
on the camera at the halftime or at the end of the third quarter when they were going to commercial, and he was sneakily looking up at his replay, trying not to smile.
mhm,
So I was like,
mhm.
"Come on, man, you can
I
celebrate a
mean,
little bit."
it was the only three he made tonight, so he shouldn't be smiling.
I
Oh,
I
dang.
mean, on a side note, Josh Hart is a meme anyway. Like everything he does is pretty funny. Like all his reactions. You remember last season when he reacted to, I think it was like James Harden hitting the ball off his head or something, and he was
Of
like,
his own head, yeah, off of James Harden's own
"Yeah,
face.
I
Yeah,
know."
yeah. And he's a
I was,
meme, but I need you guys to stop shooting Josh Hart at every chance you can because that guy gets the most unfavorable whistle of all time. I'd already
yeah,
mentioned that he gets so many negative defensive assignments, and he never gets the benefit of
yeah,
the doubt, dude. That
hmm
one Jimmy Butler, dunk, or that the Andre Iguodala missed dunk where he got stumped by
yeah,
the rim. Josh Hart barely had his hand on his chest. There was
yeah,
no
yeah,
pressure stopping him. Andre Iguodala missed the dunk, and then Josh Hart gets called for the foul. Like that guy
yeah,
gets the most unsuperstar whistle of all time. Not that he deserves like a favorable whistle, but he
hmm
gets the
hmm
opposite end of the spectrum. If LeBron and Luka get all the calls, Josh Hart is on the receiving end of all those calls.
hmm Yeah, I mean, one thing about Josh Hart, he definitely plays hard, and it showed this game. He had a tough defensive assignment. Guarding Dragic at some points, mostly Jimmy Butler, of course, down the stretch. But Jimmy Butler, especially in that fourth quarter, they, they showed why they call him Jimmy Buckets. They don't say it for no reason, man. Like Jimmy Butler, he's not known for his three-point shooting. He can't his percentages aren't that high, but in my opinion, he makes them when it counts. Uh, and they needed it to close out this game, and he got it. He got the and one three off of Josh Hart. Just caught him in the air a little bit, and it was nothing. And next possession, came down the court, hit another three off Bledsoe. Nothing, man.
What's your big takeaway from this game, Robin? See you smiling down there.
Uh, Goran Dragic. I don't know if you mentioned him, but
Just a little
dude
bit.
was controlling the game, pushing up the tempo, slowing it down, hitting deep threes. I like the way he came off, especially have someone like him off the bench is good to have in the playoffs. So when Jimmy goes to the bench or Jimmy's on the court, he doesn't have to take the ball down the floor. Down the floor, he can play his normal shooting guard position. And then Kelly Olynyk, it's like usually when I watch him, he'll be brick everything, but tonight he was. I mean, he had 7 assists and 10 boards. Like he was doing
And he made his
everything.
first 6 shots, 12 straight
Yeah.
He
points, I
said,
believe.
"No Bam,
Hmm.
no worries. We have me." And that's true. Because you can tell the Pelicans are struggling without Zion. The Heat, you see their depth can step up when needed. The Pelicans' depth cannot. So
Uh,
that was the big thing.
And it's not even the depth, and Kyle touched on it right when during his opening monologue. Lonzo Ball came out aggressive. He shot probably the first 6 opportunities that he had the ball in his hands, on each possession down the floor, and it was great. He was picking up speed, using some strength, getting his shoulders in the lane, getting around the rim, and he was shooting threes, with confidence as he has been in the past couple weeks. But he didn't shoot very efficiently. 4 for 16. I enjoyed the amount of shots that he put up because I'm a Lonzo Ball fan. I like the way he plays. I like his pace and his willingness to give the ball up and go for assists and get other people going. And somebody needed to increase their shooting output because Zion wasn't going to be absorbing possessions because he's not playing. So I really like it, but it just didn't pan out as far as the offensive efficiency for the Pelicans this game. So I want to say I like the effort, but I don't like the results for the Pelicans. Well, what's up, Robin?
Uh, I'm all for Lonzo shooting more shots because Zion's out, but I would want those shots to go to Brandon Ingram. I
That
mean, he needs
yeah.
to step up. He didn't do enough tonight without Zion. This is his game to take over. Like, you're the guy we're going to go to and only take 12 shots.
Hmm.
I just didn't like that. I mean, if Lonzo can take 16, 11 from the three-point line, and you take one more than that at 12, you need to do more. He needs to be a little bit more selfish, especially when Zion is not playing.
Oh, I agree. And he definitely had opportunities when the ball was moving around the perimeter to just call his own number and take his own shot. He's got the length to shoot over anybody that he wants to. So I definitely see that for sure. Um, and then besides that, I mean, there was a lot of energy. Well, actually, there wasn't much energy at all as far as the Pelicans
Yeah.
defense goes. It was like we said last week. The Heat were getting the first action off of anything that they wanted. People were dying on the
Hmm.
screens, and there wasn't a lot of urgency until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter when it's like, oh shit, we're actually gonna lose. It's time to defend. Let's run some doubles. Like, it's too late for that. You don't have that
Hmm.
gear in you with 5 minutes to go. Like that's clutch time. 5 minutes to go. I'm not asking for a whole quarter. Just the last 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram's he's just not living up to that hype. I mean, it's not his fault, of course. He didn't give himself the KD like comparisons. So, but people hyped him up when he was on the Lakers. He won Most Improved Player. Like, was it last season or the season before that? Uh,
Most
uh,
improved?
yeah. He won it a couple seasons ago, and people were high on him. And he got his chance to sign here in New Orleans, and he's played well for New Orleans, obviously, but he's played well as a piece, not as the main star of the show. It's for New Orleans, it's been Zion, and they really missed him tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And sorry, I had a little bit of a technical hiccup right there. But
Uh,
no, you're right. And the Pelicans haven't turned the corner outside of the last like maybe 6 to 10 games where they basically dumped the ball to Zion at every
mm,
possession that they could, really being the driving engine of the offense and letting
mm,
Brandon Ingram kind of pick his spots. So kind of makes you wonder going forward what the opportunity is there for him to call his number more often and be more aggressive. So
mm.
kind of tough and a tough look. And I mentioned the defense already. I'm gonna go back to it. Kind of a tough look on Stan Van Gundy, man. Like I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of Stan Van Gundy. I buy every one of his mixtapes when he brings them out. I like all his coaching decisions when he was in Detroit when he ousted Josh Smith and said, "Just get out of here, keep your money." Waived him, stretched the contract. Like I like a lot of his, his tough, no nonsense attitude. Great follow on Twitter. And I said
Yeah,
going
he
into the
is.
season that his teams aren't lacking for effort and doing the things that are the little things that add up to, being competent on defense, closing out, securing the rebound. And that's not what you're seeing, which is kind of crazy. And I wonder
Hmm.
what kind of a finish it would take to guarantee his, seeing through to the next season. He's early on into his tenure, but really makes you wonder. I mean, they harped on this plenty of times on the broadcast, but Stan Van Gundy and Eric Spoelstra, they used to, be in the same organization. They were both on the Heat, and it's just funny seeing the kind of effort that Eric Spoelstra can get in conjunction with Pat Riley out of his players when you compare it to the other side in the Pelicans, where there doesn't seem to be that top-down structure. Like, I guess it goes all the way up to the general manager and owner to really set a tone of accountability, where every player and every employee of the franchise, is going to play like their life's on the line, the way that they do in Miami. Like,
Hmm.
it's a real testament, and you don't see that almost anywhere on very many teams in the league as consistently. So, props to the Heat and negative props to the Pelicans. Like somebody needs to step up. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean they were saying on the commentary too. They just need to play better defense, and I'm as surprised as you that Stan Van Gundy hasn't made this team a better defensive team. They just have a lot of miscommunications, and sometimes effort is in question. But certain players like I said, Josh Hart, he played with a lot of effort tonight. Uh, but yeah, they just had a lot of miscommunications. Like a lot of players got wide open going downhill, like open lane, getting caught off a screen, and for easy layups, and it was too easy for Miami.
That's for sure. Any
Speaking of commentary, hearing
oh,
Kenny Smith on commentary
Yeah,
might be
that
one of
was
the most
fun.
annoying
I was wondering which way
things.
you were gonna go. Who do you
It
prefer?
was
Do you prefer Grant Hill or Kenny Smith?
okay, but with
So
Grant Hill, he's
I
not gonna repeat the same little stat for the whole quarter. He was talking about Pelicans defense, this and that and this and that. It's like, bro, you said it already. Every possession they've been on defense. Like, we get it,
I mean,
man.
I get what you mean, but I prefer Kenny Smith in this game
yeah,
to Grant
I
Hill. 'Cause
do
Grant
too.
Hill is so
No,
there's a word. I'm gonna spell it. The word is milk toast. MILQUETOAST.
You're
Like
gonna have to elaborate on that one.
it's so blah, unoffending, not flavorful, bland. Like I'm just not about it. Like I'm uninspired. I don't want this. Like and so that's what I get when I hear Grant Hill talking. He just speaks in all these platitudes about, and he'll just talk about the narrative going into the season. So it plays any team on the broadcast. It could be the Mavericks, it could be the Bucks, it could be the Kings. And if the Kings are overperforming based on their preseason expectations, instead of talking about what's actually happening on the court, he's like, Kemba Walker's looking great. He's looking like old Kemba Walker right now. Oh, the Kings, they were disappointed at the end of last season, but now they're really exceeding expectations. Like, somebody could shoot someone on the court with a handgun, and he wouldn't actually commentate on what was happening on the court. Like, he's only talking about the narratives and the storylines. Ridiculous. And Kenny Smith does the same thing a little bit, talking about
Hmm.
championship medal and having the heart of a champion at the Heat when they went to the
Hmm.
championship round last year, going to the finals. But he utilized what he had on him. He had a stat team. He had whatever else he was saying, and he brought some new live material saying, "Hey, okay,
Hmm.
we gotta start doubling Jimmy Butler. It's the last 5 minutes. That's what
Yeah,
I would be
yeah.
doing if I was the Pelicans." So Kenny
Hmm.
Smith over Grant Hill any day of the week. Sorry,
Hmm.
Robin. Unless you have a
Yeah,
rebuttal.
you literally just said everything that you just said. Half the commentators already do. Grant Hill,
is
you
the
said,
same as all the
but you
rest.
said you said that Kenny Smith was talking about doubling Jimmy Butler the last 4 or 5 minutes. Every other commentator would say the same thing. Reggie Miller, who you guys
Yeah,
despise,
I hate that guy.
would say that.
I hate his
That's
commentary.
nothing difficult. I just feel like Kenny got so repetitive so short, like so quickly. Like, he was only there one half, and I felt like it was tiring to listen to him. Like, he wouldn't let the other guy talk.
Yeah, Mark.
Brian.
Yeah, exactly,
So you
exactly.
don't even know his name. That's how much Kenny was talking.
And I did feel bad for him when he was
Yeah,
having to commentate all on his own the last like 6 minutes of that broadcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I wonder
Uh,
what could have happened to Grant Hill's connection. Like he's got plenty of
mhm,
money. I'm sure it wasn't out the whole time. He was just like, "Fuck
mhm.
this! I don't want to. I already cashed my check for this game. I'm gonna go to sleep or whatever he was
He's on
doing."
All-Star mode, man. He's on All-Star mode.
Yeah, it's time for
Yeah,
All Star
he's
break,
chilling.
and that's kind of the feeling you got from the game, right? Like during
Mhm.
certain parts of it, the Pelicans were like, "Oh, it's time to party," or "It's time to go to
Chill.
go take a break, time
Like
to chill."
take a break. Yeah. Uh,
Hey.
they had like 6 or 7 games in the last like 9 days or whatever. So they've been on a tough stretch of the schedule, so to say. But yeah, I mean, Miami came out with the win, 103 to 93. The odds for this game was New Orleans plus 1.5 points. I was like, I'll take that bet any day of the week. I'd put it on Miami.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I be- uh,
Kyle, who
I
didn't
did.
know what the spread was 8 days ago, he's like, "I'm
Well,
taking that bet every day."
Every
And
day for
and speaking
7 days so far, counting.
yeah, speaking of the spread and the picks, we did check out mentally early and didn't make our All Star or make our picks for this week, and we apologize. All Star break happened for us early too.
Mhm.
But we'll be back. Well, the competition resumes this upcoming week after the
uh,
All Star break, of course. But you were saying,
I,
Kyle?
I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but JB like called me out on Twitter for saying I would take Miami over New Orleans today because because of what I said last week. I would take New Orleans over Milwaukee, and he was just like, uh, he needs to figure out what kind of spreadsheet I'm using because I said Miami over New Orleans over Milwaukee.
Wow. Shout out
Yeah,
to JV at Jumpman
yeah,
JV on Twitter, longtime
yes
listener
sir.
slash previous co-host of the Shot Callers,
Yeah,
chiming
uh-huh.
in and keeping up. So shouts to him. Appreciate the follow and the interaction. He can attest to
Yeah.
Kyle getting back to him on Twitter, and he actually got on to me for not bringing it up on last episode.
Yeah, yeah.
So that made me
Yeah,
laugh.
he's one of the founding fathers, old man of the show.
Of the Shot Callers, that's for sure.
Yeah, we should have him on a plaque. You should have him on a plaque behind you.
Yeah, we'll get a little wall of fame back here and a wall of
Yeah,
shame. The wall of shame will
shut.
be over here, and Reggie Miller and Grant Hill will be on the wall of shame.
Yeah.
But Mark
And Kenny
Jackson,
Smith. And
it'll
Kenny Smith.
it'll be the honorary Mark Jackson Hall of Shame. Cause God, he's the worst.
Mark Jackson?
Yeah,
I like Mark Jackson. I
you
mean,
like
he's
you like
okay.
Mama.
He is kind
There
of.
goes
He is
that
kind of.
man.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
the
dude.
Warriors.
I,
Hand down,
That's
man down.
iconic.
I
That's
like
Energy,
that.
iconic, bro.
energy and
I love
Yeah.
effort.
that. I love that shit.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, no,
I
I
like
love
half
it.
that stuff. Half of it's like, okay, that doesn't even apply right there. But the whole mama, there goes that man, that's vintage.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
vintage,
man.
bro.
I don't know. Well, I just have to agree to disagree on this one. I'm taking another drink. Kyle.
Uh,
Oh, what's up?
no, I mean, I was gonna say on a side note, talking about this game, like, I I'm sure you guys have been seeing it a lot on Twitter and all the other news sites, but the refs have been like really, really bad, especially in this last game with the Utah and the 76ers. The refs have just been like really bad, and I was kind of paying attention during this game, and they were kind of bad during this game too. Like there were stretches in the fourth quarter where I was kind of worried, like, are they about to hand this game like back to Miami? There's a couple of bad calls. Like what they'll do, I mean, I'm sure they've been doing this like forever, is like they'll like miss a call on one end of the floor and they'll go down to the other end of the floor and give the call like where there's no call.
The makeup
They've
call.
been doing this for a long time, but it's worse this season because they've been giving out like bad texts like the whole season on like Donovan Mitchell and getting people ejected like Devin Booker, JJ Redick, like they've been getting ejected over nothing. Like uh Scott Foster,
Yep, the lead of the
he
refs.
yeah,
Mhm.
he looks like a dude I wouldn't want to mess with. Like he'd sue me for anything.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't tell him anything. But yeah, the refs have just been like horrible, like just bad calls, like so often it feels like. I
Quick
mean
trigger on
it's
the text, that's for sure.
yeah, it's probably. a little bit of recency bias, but still, it just feels really bad. I don't know if y'all have noticed this or
No, I mean we host a week-to-week show. There's definitely going to be a lot of recency bias. Devin Booker got ejected for bounce passing the ball too hard at a
Yeah,
ref, and a different referee ejected him. Not even the ref that
yeah,
received the pass.
yeah.
Uh,
So did JJ Redick.
Donovan Mitchell got booted in the overtime, and like
Yeah,
Philadelphia was kind of putting the clamps on at that point. Tobias Harris was burying him. And I know we're here to talk about the Pelicans, but Joel Embiid versus Rudy Gobert. We were all watching that at the same time. Was that yesterday? Or was that 2 days ago? Philadelphia versus the
yeah.
Jazz
It's something like that. Yeah.
with the Donovan Mitchell controversy with the refs, but the real what should have been the shining moment of the game was Joel Embiid truck sticking Rudy Gobert under the rim and knocking him over. Man, that dude, 260 pounds of fucking just he's a mountain with speed
Yeah.
and grace and athleticism,
Hmm.
which is insane, and definitely putting up 40 points on a reigning defensive player of the year. That
Hmm.
means you are definitely the MVP in my eyes, and that's what I was saying a few weeks ago, I believe.
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to argue. Joel Embiid, he's just making such a good case. I feel like at this point, I mean, uh, Jokic is up there, but I feel like he's kind of fallen off a little bit, in my opinion. Uh, but Damian Lillard is definitely up there too, and then especially with his story, like all the stuff that's been going on in his life, and he's still coming out and being so clutch, closing out games and making sure Portland wins, especially in that head-to-head with Steph the other day. Uh, he didn't have the greatest of games, but he came up big time in the fourth quarter. His time to shine. Uh, you know what
Dame
time it
time.
is?
It's Dame
Dame
time.
time. Yes, sir. So
it is Dame time. It is Dame
yeah.
time.
So
Time
right, right
cold-blooded.
right now, top two for MVP is Damian and Joel Embiid right now for me.
I don't know, man. I think you're disrespecting Nikola Jokic a little bit.
Yeah.
I posted this in our chat the other day. The Nuggets are the 6th seed, 21-15, and they're disappointing because of Jamal Murray. That's not because of Jokic. And
Hmm.
then you look over here at the Bucks, 22-14. That's a one-game difference just because of what conference
Yeah.
they're playing in and the standings.
Hmm.
And you can't say that's too bad. You play in the West, cry me a river, but it's hotly contested, and I'm sure LeBron's gonna want to put his stamp on things after the All-Star break comes and goes. So it's going to be a race like I don't even remember there being in previous years with like 4 different candidates, maybe 5 different candidates all vying for the same thing, whereas most times it's like a two or maybe 3-man race. It's really
Hmm.
exciting as
Yeah.
what you can see tonight. We have been kind of moving ourselves away from this Pelicans and Heat
Yeah.
game. Just one last shout out to Jimmy Butler for being super clutch and super strong and athletic and making the big shots when they count. But if y'all want to move on to our second portion, there wasn't a second game, but we did want to talk about a game that's on the horizon. Y'all want to go ahead and move on? Any final things
Yeah,
to
let's
say
go
about
ahead.
that game?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we have the All-Star game on Sunday, along with the number one thing in my book, the skills challenge, and the
Really?
no, it's not.
Skills challenge?
Oh, I was gonna say yeah. I don't know about that.
The dunk contest with 3 participants, and then the three-point shootout, all happening on the same day, the same night. I'm glad I'm off the whole day. That way I can take it all in.
Hmm.
And then we were wondering this the other day, but they're bringing back the Elam ending. So for those that are uninitiated, the format that was happening last year, where both teams play, Team LeBron, Team Durant, play through 3 quarters, and try to rack up the score and gain an advantage on one or the other. And then at a certain point in the fourth quarter, I believe with about 7 to 5 minutes to go, they're basically going to tack 24 points to the lead score, tack it on, and then it's going to be the race to get that final score, and the clock will
Hmm.
be off. And dude, last year, if you guys didn't watch the All Star game, if it's somewhere on YouTube, like y'all need to fire that up because it was like, y'all ever seen Space Jam when Daffy Duck is wearing the helmet and he goes, it's gut check time, and he goes and that's how it was. It's gut check time. Like it was not for the faint of heart. Kyle Lowry, get off the court. Joel Embiid, get off the court. Like it's out here for the winners and those that have the mettle to stand up with with guys like LeBron James and Kevin Durant if he was out there, just stuff like that. Steph Curry,
Hmm.
the cream rises to the top. So I'm super excited and I'm really glad they're bringing it back. So
Hmm.
uh, in celebration of All-Star Weekend, or in anticipation of All-Star Weekend, we were going to predict who we thought was going to win each of the different categories. If you guys want to go ahead and get us started, I'll read out the participants of the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Starting off, Sir Robert Covington, Luka Doncic, Chris Paul, Julius Randle, my man Domantas Sabonis, and Nikola Vucevic, who is on fire. Who do you guys have taken
he's been killing it.
Who do you guys have taken the skills challenge?
You go, Kyle.
Set it in stone.
I mean, I would say pretty easily like CP3, but
Easily.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean that in my opinion he's got it if he tries. You know,
I mean, I think he's
I
gonna
don't.
try. You know how competitive
mean,
that guy is.
Well, okay, yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, have you guys seen this clip or the old skills challenge on Twitter recently where it was a throwback to when LeBron and Kobe were in the skills challenge? Like both of those guys when they were in the skills challenge, they were so casual, they were so smooth. Like it wasn't, a sense of like urgency. It was just an event they were participating in, and I wonder if it's gonna be like this year. So I mean, we'll see. But I mean, like I said, if I had to put on somebody, I would put it on Chris Paul.
Who you got, Robin?
Mine would not be Chris Paul because I think he's been in it like 6 or 7 times and has not won once. So let's just move away from him. I don't think it'll be Luka either because as Kyle was saying, some people do kind of lollygag. Luka, his rookie year, he didn't really even try. Shot up a half-court shot instead of a three-point shot. I'm going
Luka's there to
Sabonis.
have fun. Oh,
Yeah,
Sabonis.
I'm going Sabonis. It's the big man. It's the big man league. As long as he can knock down a three-pointer, which he can, everything else is going to be just as easy for him, especially because the course is so, I guess, constrained and it's not as much running anymore. It's more about passing, shooting, and all of that. I'm going Sabonis.
Oh, I mean, I'm right there with you. Just to wrap it up kind of quick, I actually went with Nikola Vucevic. I just think he's gonna nail his first three and really put the nail in the
Yeah.
coffin. Even if he's behind on foot speed, he's gonna just make it up just with that shot. So with these other guys that are, Luka's out there to have fun. That's what Robin was saying. He's there to shoot half-court shots, put some spin on the ball when he's trying to pass it through the cones or through the hoops or whatever. So yeah, I got Vooch. On to the next one. What do you want to do next? The dunk contest or the three-point shootout?
We can do the three-point.
Yeah.
Three-point shootout. So the lineup is as follows: Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, both the Boston boys, Zach LaVine, and Donovan Mitchell. That is a star-studded cast. There is no who he play for. Like Chuck is gonna know everyone
Yeah.
that's playing in this lineup here. So who do you guys have taking this one? We'll go reverse order this time. Robin.
Yeah.
I'm going Devin Booker.
I'm also going Devin Booker. Just gonna tell you.
Hey, he holds the record for most threes in a round, I believe. But I think this whole weekend he's gonna have something to prove, being a snub again until an injury happens and saves him. Not really saves him, but puts him in the All-Star game. Um, Last time he was in the three-point contest, everybody overlooked him and he ended up winning. I think this year people are gonna kind of know he's coming for it and he'll defend it, especially because Steph is in the competition as well. He'll kind of have to make a point there.
Kyle, you got a different choice here?
I was going with Steph.
Oh dang. Yeah, I mean
I
it's
mean,
kind of hard to go against him, but sometimes
yeah, I
he,
know that's exactly the point. I was like, I'm not going against Steph. You know, I I was a little bit of a Steph hater back in the day, but
Oh yeah,
now I'm
me
like
too.
I put some respect on his name, and I'm like, he gonna win. He gonna win. Yeah, like just looking at these other guys, I mean, all these guys can shoot threes, obviously, but is anybody as good as Curry at shooting threes? I
And
think
Curry
not.
cares, man. About 3 years ago, when he won the 3-point shootout, I believe it was 3 years ago.
Hmm.
He actually made a change to the course to make it better suit himself. He oftentimes will bring the ball up from his left side.
Hmm.
So on certain racks going around the perimeter, he changed to where he picked the ball up to be on the appropriate side, as opposed to pulling it from the right, because that's not what he
Hmm.
usually does when he pulls it from the dribble. And so that's somebody that cares. He's changing the layout just to
I
secure that
mean,
competitive advantage.
he should care. He's the best shooter in the league, and he lost twice before he finally won one. I mean, you got to prove that you're the best shooter. So
I
it's
mean,
hard to go against Steph.
probably the best shooter of all time.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's definitely the best shooter of all time. It's not up for
Yeah,
debate.
yeah.
But Devin Booker, D Book, he's got a song lyric, "Wet Like I'm Book." So the dunk,
You're right.
the dunk contest.
Steph Curry got some lyrics about him too.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So let's move on to the dunk contest. This one should be kind of simple. There's not a lot of choices. I think it'll be like a short, I guess, amount of attempts. Like not very many. It should be. I think they're trying to fit this in at halftime. I think is what I
Yeah, it's
heard.
halftime.
Yeah, exactly. So only 3 competitors. Anthony Simons from the Portland Trailblazers, who I didn't know could get up like that.
Yeah,
Cassius
me neither.
Stanley and Obi Toppin from the New York Knicks.
Who are these guys? I don't know.
Hey.
Chuck's not gonna know these guys.
He's gonna say who he plays for on
Shaq's-
these guys.
Yeah.
I'll go
yeah,
go first.
Shaq's not gonna know.
I'm taking Obi Toppin, power forward, plays for the Knicks, just like Amari Stoudemire once did. Amari Stoudemire wasn't super well known before he made it in that dunk contest where Steve Nash was throwing him lobs with his feet and giving headers off the backboard. And I feel like this is a chance for him to become more well known, power forward, kind of like Amari Stoudemire, because he's got power and he's got hops. You read Anthony Simons' name and you're like, that guy's got hops, but you
Yeah.
can look at and I've seen him play. You can see Obi Toppin and be like, okay, that guy's got athleticism. So that's where I'm going. Which name are you aiming for on this dartboard, Kyle?
I went with Cassius Stanley,
Uh-huh.
but for me it was kind of a shot in the dark. Sorry.
Close
sorry.
your eyes and
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
you okay?
Yeah, no, that was on purpose. Obviously, come on, Robin, get with the show. But no, yeah, no. Anthony Simons, he's a point guard, backup point guard for the Portland Trail Blazers. I was with you, Rich. I was like, he can get up there like that. Like, I haven't seen it. I mean, he obviously he probably can, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a show that he'll be able to put on.
Robin, you got Cassius Stanley highlights going on your screen right now. Who you picking?
That's exactly who I got going right now. Because I was going to say, I'm trying to prove something, but his vertical, he actually has a better vertical than Zion. So that's why I'm picking him. I know he can get up. I don't know about the other two guys.
I literally judged it based off of I googled Cassius Stanley and Obi Toppin. I already knew who Anthony Simon was, but I
Yeah.
looked at both of them. I saw their faces. I was just like, I'll go with him. He looked like he can dunk.
I had to Google these
But
guys.
just looking at their
I don't
faces?
know, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know these guys. I had to Google them. I was like, who are these guys? Is this the right list? Okay.
Can
We'll go with Stanley.
And so next up, as far as the All-Star categories go, is the main event. Can someone tell me who the teams ended up being for Team Durant and Team LeBron?
Yeah.
Actually,
you
I
can do
have
that.
pictures. If you have it pulled up,
Yeah.
Okay, well.
So with the first pick, LeBron ended up picking Giannis. And then KD's first pick was Kyrie. But the starting lineups are LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, Luka, and the Joker. And then for Team KD, it's Kyrie, Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, Bradley Beal, and then Jason Tatum, since KD's obviously hurt. The reserves is where it gets kind of interesting. LeBron picked up Dame, Ben Simmons, Chris Paul, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Sabonis, and Rudy Gobert. KD picked up Harden, Booker, Zion, Zach LaVine, Julius Randle, Vucevic, and Donovan Mitchell. Side note, both Jazz players with the last 2 picks.
small market team, man. That's
And
that's
there
what
was
it
a
is.
quote that came out from LeBron about that one. He's like,
Yeah.
no shade against the Jazz, but
Yeah.
even everybody knows, even back in the 90s, nobody was picking them on NBA Jam. I mean, you respected Stockton and Malone, but you didn't pick them. So
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, maybe it's just their attitudes, man, or
Yeah,
when they were
probably.
talking about conspiracies against their team and the media. Donovan Mitchell said, "I'm never one to complain about the referees, but the referees suck." Like you're complaining about the refs right now, dog. So maybe that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. Rudy Gobert is an irritant, we all know. So it doesn't surprise me that he went last. It doesn't surprise me that LeBron picked Domantas Sabonis over Rudy Gobert first. So LeBron's got the more stacked team easily, like easily. I think they're winning for sure. Like there's no way they're not winning.
LeBron's done a good job at drafting these All Stars. I mean, he's 2-0 coming into this one. Um, you kind of knew when LeBron, whoever he picked first, whoever he wanted next was going to be available with the whole teammate picking. 'Cause KD was going to pick Kyrie first, regardless. And then even in the
Yeah, that's
reserves, his first pick was James Harden. It's always
he.
been that way. Giannis picking Middleton, LeBron picking Anthony Davis. It's always kind of been that way.
Yeah. Uh, you really think LeBron's team is that much better than KD's?
Easily, man. Because if they need
Uh,
like they actually have like some defenders on the team. Ben Simmons like ready to launch on
mm,
someone that's hot on the opposing team. Ben Simmons
mm.
is a force, dog.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
eye
No,
roll for? Okay.
no. I was like, it wasn't an eye roll. It was more like, oh, good point. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I feel like it's more up in the air. Uh, as most of these
Wait,
All-Star
what
games
side
are,
is
in
Devin
my.
Booker on?
Uh,
KD's.
Katie's 10. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. And so, as we've read out the list, we did have our. Do you guys want to go ahead and say, since I said I picked Team LeBron, are you going to go with Team Durant? And then if you want to go ahead and pick your All Star Game MVP, feel free, guys.
you go ahead.
I'll pick Team LeBron because they have people that've been there. Dame's been there, Ben Simmons has been there, and Chris Paul for sure. Last year he was in the lineup that closed out the game. So I would go with that just because they've been there. They're not going to be nervous like Zach LaVine, Julius Randle. Those guys will be nervous because it's their first All
They'll be
Star
on the
game.
bench and
Yeah.
during the ending.
And then on LeBron's side, whoever's hot, you can put them in at the end. They've been there before. But I'll go Team LeBron. And my MVP, I will go and pick Curry. I think he'll be left open a lot. I think he'll go off, especially with LeBron being a pass first guy. I think Steph's gonna get a lot of shots that he usually typically won't get, especially with Giannis and Steph Curry or LeBron in the paint.
I think Steph Curry loves to have fun so much and loves to get other guys going in the All Star game. He loves the flashy play. He's not afraid to
Mm,
literally dive on the ground and let Giannis take the spotlight from him. Dunking over his lifeless body. Uh, and that being said, I think Devin Booker, like you said, has something to prove, and I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say that LeBron's team is going to win, but Devin Booker is going to take the MVP. No one having
So
done
you,
so since I believe Jerry West or Magic Johnson on the losing team. So yeah, I'm taking LeBron's team to win and
mm.
Devin Booker to mop it up with like a 55-point explosion and win that Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP award. I'm just saying it. That's all I'm saying.
you like being
Uh,
wrong, I guess.
I mean,
yeah,
but if
I
it
mean, you're
happened
pretty good
though,
at that.
Kyle.
Anyways, I believe it's more like between. I guess you all have a good point about some of the guys on Durant's team being a little nervous. I still feel it's pretty 50-50 in my opinion. I'll go with Team Durant. Uh, however, I think I mean y'all are going with Team LeBron anyway. So if Team LeBron wins, then I kind of feel like Damian Lillard would be All-Star Game MVP. Uh, I'll give an outside shot to like Zach LaVine uh, if he puts on a show, like starts dunking like crazy, like we know he can, and lighting up from three. I think he has an outside shot of winning the All-Star Game MVP.
So you're picking two picks?
Well,
I picked Randall. I thought.
my
Oh,
no
No,
no
no, Randall. I'm
I
sorry. I'm reading Randall's name on the
Lillard
screen right now.
I
you
picked
picked Lillard.
Lillard, but
Okay.
I said that I gave Zach LaVine an outside chance.
I'm telling you, Steph's gonna go off. All he has to do is make two threes, and
You're
then
so
he's
quick
on
to
fire.
clown on me, Robin. Come on, bro. You you ain't even listen to me.
Hey, I'm just saying. Yo, I'm just saying. You said I know, cause for a second I thought you picked two of them. I was like, well, that's easy. I can pick two of them and probably get it right. It's not tough.
Just pick Devin Booker. You'll be right there with me.
uh,
No,
I mean,
no, not at all.
uh,
He's
I
not gonna.
know.
I don't think Booker will play a lot.
Oh, I think he will. You just said he had something to prove in a previous
He's gonna have something to
meaningless
prove in the
competition.
minutes he has, but their lineup is probably gonna include Kyrie, Kawhi, and James Harden.
And Joel Embiid probably too.
and Joel Embiid, and then either Tatum or probably Tatum.
Like, so take Jason Tatum out of it because that guy can't pass out of a double team to save his life. But Leonard and Embiid are both terrific at it, and they need a release
Mhm.
valve. That's Devin Booker right there. He's ready to shoot. You saw him shoot over Paul George
They're
and
gonna
Kawhi Leonard in the
they're gonna
bubble.
play they're gonna play Harden more. They always do. It's All Star game.
But Harden will pass too. Harden doesn't take a lot of shots in the All Star game. He doesn't. He's chilling. He's trying to
But
rest.
exactly. But you have Kyrie Irving already right there. He's gonna
Who
take
will
a
take
lot
a
of
lot of
shots.
shots? I don't know.
Kawhi also does take a lot of shots. He started to take more shots. The more All Star games you play, the more shots you start taking. That's how it is. Luka took 2, I think, last year or 3. I guarantee this year he'll probably take 5.
Oh, guarantee
I
five
mean,
shots.
I'm sure Devin Booker will love shooting over his ex or his ex's or his girlfriend's ex and Ben Simmons.
Oh, I don't know
Like
where
like
you were
like
going with that.
I was
no
like, he's never
no
been traded.
Chris
What are you talking
I was
about?
like, what did I not hear? You dated one of
no
these players?
I mean y'all
Like,
well
what
y'all
you
don't
want?
remember like last week when the 76ers and the Suns played and Devin Booker went up Ben Simmons. He was talking that mess afterwards. Yeah, bro. That's what that was.
It was about Kylie Jenner or Kendall
Or,
Jenner,
Kendall.
yeah, Kendall.
the natural one.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But nice. Well, thanks for giving me y'all's picks on that. And since we're at midway through the season, oh, what's up, Kyle? You got something to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna go over the World versus USA game. I mean, y'all
Oh,
y'all informed me that game's not gonna be played, but y'all looked at the rosters, right? For both of those
go ahead
teams.
and read out the names, Kyle. List.
I mean, I don't have it listed, but I
Let me see.
on the USA team it was Zion, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, like all these like star players, and then on the world team it was like RJ Barrett and Campazzo and a couple of guys like that, and I was like, bro, if they played this game, USA would have destroyed the world team. Like
it
would have
was a
not,
bunch of bench guys versus a bunch of
yeah,
starters, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like starters.
Yeah, I don't like the way they do that now because I feel like most people that are not, from USA overseas, they're not like typically like Luca. They take a couple seasons to develop. So I don't like the whole thing of that sort. I wish they would just keep it East versus West.
But
Keep
the
it a
crops
little.
the crops have been getting stronger over the years, which is why
Yeah.
they kind of went in this direction. I wonder
Yeah,
if the trend will go back the other way in this coming year, which way the momentum swings if the world ever opens again. Um, but yeah, so thanks for that, Kyle. The world's gonna get slaughtered by the USA in this hypothetical game. So I was saying that we are marking the end of the first half of the truncated regular season, only going to 72 games, and we just had a couple of categories. We're kind of thinking about who's gonna win the award and in different categories, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, but you can get that anywhere. You can hear
Hmm.
that anytime. We're going to talk about that all the way down the home stretch. We talked about it on this episode already. So you
Yeah.
don't got to hear our outdated picks. We're going to just give you guys a short, sweet rundown of some awards that we think are well deserved that you won't hear in other places. Very simple, very simple. And feel free to freestyle, throw in a shout out anytime you want to anybody you want to for any reason. But first things up, best handle in the NBA. Who you got, Kyle?
Uh, I feel like my answer is best second. So
Okay.
get Robin, you
Robin, you
answer.
got somebody for best handle?
I'm going like handle. We're talking about
Yeah.
handles,
I'm
like
talking about
dribble.
handles. Yeah. Dribbling the
I'm
ball,
talking.
inside,
I'm going
outside.
Steph Curry. I'm going Steph Curry this season. We're talking about this season. So
Right.
obviously Uncle Drew lovers are gonna be like, "What the heck?" No, Steph Curry this season when he has the ball, he's must see TV. You don't know if he's gonna pull up. You don't know if he's gonna get by you. You don't know what he's gonna do, and he has been flashy. He's been fun to watch, and I'm going him. I'm going Steph Curry. I love watching any Warriors games. Half the time, they're gonna probably lose, especially if it gets a really good team. But they've been keeping him close, so his handles have been A1 though.
Kyle?
Okay, I went with a less serious answer. I went with uh uh I don't know how to say his first name. Campazzo
Facu
from the
Campazzo.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faco Campazzo.
Dude, that
He's
dude.
been he's yeah he's been fun to watch. Did all right. I know you guys saw this clip where he scored a fast break layup, and then as soon as the ball went through the hoop, he went back down the court and he screamed. He was like, "Ah!" You guys saw that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, that was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. I was like, that was so random. I was like, that had me dying. But no, just his handles and his passing has been like so good. Like, it's really fun to watch.
I also had
he
a
plays for the Nuggets.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so
Nuggets.
speaking of the Nuggets, I had Nikola Jokic on my squad, not because his handle is like the tightest,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he is never out of control. His turnovers are
Uh-huh.
very low. He's in traffic all the time, and
Mhm.
he's dishing out those passes like it's nothing. And a point guard with a good handle, he'd be whipping passes behind your own head, and you're like, "What's going on?" And that's Jokic all
Uh-huh.
the time. He's be putting people in the spin cycle, puts himself in the spin cycle, and I just love
Yeah.
watching it. So that's the best to me, Robin. You can make that face all you want.
I'm just saying, JaVale McGee had better handles this. I'm just kidding.
Well, speaking of JaVale McGee, who you got for worst handle?
That's literally my answer.
That's my answer.
Your boy,
Dude.
JaVale McGee.
It's the fact that he had one bad transition and then he tried to do it again. It's like you didn't learn from your mistake. And it was the same game, I believe. It's like it just happened to you. You didn't learn nothing. He takes
It was so funny. It was so funny.
There's a
like,
reason why he's known for Shaq and the Fool.
but it's weird too because I think there was one or two times last season with the Lakers where he had a fast break up the court and he was handling the ball actually pretty well, and then also this season too, and then he does that again. Like he'll lose a ball and
it's
I
one of
guess
those
he'll
things.
just turn the ball over.
It's
I
like one
guess
of those
so,
things
uh-huh.
as a big man. Like if it works, everyone's gonna look at you like, man,
Oh
that's
my
crazy.
God,
But if
this
it
is
doesn't
amazing.
work, everyone is gonna make jokes, make memes for like the next 3-4 years. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I guess you guys just had me on the teammate kick because I was gonna go with Andre Drummond because when he dribbles, it's just like I'm just disgusted. Like I don't want to, I don't want to look at
I
this
mean,
anymore.
yeah,
Just shoot
that's a good-
already. Like oh my god. But then Dwight Howard came to mind, or Dwight Howard came to mind as well because there are times where he's trying to rip and run. As I remember when he was on the Lakers, not so much so on the Sixers because
Sixers,
Doc
yeah.
Rivers has them on a tighter leash, and those guys are way more serious than the Lakers were. But but that's what made me laugh. So thanks for the laughs, guys.
Back to what you said about Jokic, though. When you said he dribbles and he's so in control, but he looks so out of control sometimes because
yep.
the way he's so long and lanky and stuff, and
He's
it,
like
it,
wobbly.
it looks like
he's
he's
like a
about
7
to,
foot
yeah,
tall
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Like just, oh shit! Like where's this guy
He
going?
yeah. He looks like he's borderline about to lose his dribble. Most of the times that I see him, I get nervous. I'm like, oh dang, but nah, he holds on to it.
He always looks tired. Like the game is 1 minute in and he's already breathing so hard. You just
Red.
and
Yeah,
you're
dude.
like, hey, it's
He's
like,
got an
come on,
indicator.
man.
He's got an indicator, man. When that nose is red, he's trying to maximum effort. Red alert. I do have another category that we listed. It's a pretty simple, short little category here. Who do you got for the best haircut in the league? We've seen a lot of haircuts. The quarantine has been long. This is prime Kyle material. Kyle is all about the fringe things about the NBA. Who's got the best kicks? Who's staying in the hottest hotels? Who's got the best mansion? Like Kyle's on it all. He's like he's his own little TMZ over there. So who's got the best haircut, Kyle?
I mean, definitely, if there's a most improved haircut, I would give it
Most
to
improved?
Jason Tatum.
Most improved haircut.
I would give it to Jason Tatum for sure. B- Back in his like rookie year and the year after
No, in the
that,
bubble.
his sophomore,
Oh,
or yeah,
uh-huh.
in the bubble too. His haircut was terrible. Like no fade. It looked even all over. Like it wasn't even a buzz cut either. It was just
Yeah,
like
he was saying it looked like a microphone.
yeah. Yeah, I was just it was so ugly. And his beard is weird too. So it made it worse in a way because it was like it's not like super thick and it's long, but it's like curly and wiry, and it didn't look right, but he got the fade, so everything's popping now. I mean,
Kyle says
also,
that Jason Tatum's head looked like this. It looked just smooth. There was no fade. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
It looked
yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah. No transition. It was straight like just like that lines. Uh, but I also want to give a shout out to Jimmy Butler. I really like his haircut. I mean, I liked it in the bubble. Yeah, he had that mustache going on. I mean, it looked a mess, but
That mustache is
I
ridiculous.
yeah.
It looked like my first mustache when I was 8 years old. But
You said when
props,
you were
like,
eight?
yeah, I was a Mexican jeans. We had mustaches way
Yeah.
back then.
Eight? My God.
Yeah, nah. I like Jimmy Butler's hair. Like if I grew my hair out, I kind of would want it like that. It's just like it's like it goes out and it like hangs it down a little bit, but he also has a fade, and it's just like kind of flat. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny to me, but
You got
uh,
anybody for a worst haircut, Robin?
Worst haircut? Oh, yes. It's looked the same ever since he's got to the league. To me, I think he just needs to go bald already. Trey Young. It looks like a
Oh,
used Q-tip.
it's so
I
yeah,
don't know
weird.
man.
what is wrong with that,
I
man.
feel I feel
It
bad.
looks like he's growing it back with Rogaine. Like, the before
Right.
picture, the before and after Rogaine, where it's like before, after. He's got the before look going on. Like, it
He,
looks
like
wispy, crazy. It's like a little
he looks
cloud.
he looks like
It's
when
so
you wake
weird.
up and your hair is like cannot be positioned. He looks like that, but every day after he gets ready. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bad.
Yeah, for me, as far as worst haircut goes, uh, I feel almost bad saying this, but and it's the slogan of the show. No slander about James Harden, but James Harden's little twists, like
Oh yeah.
they look
That
all right, but when they get up to the top, they're so spaced out. Like they're thin, and there's just so much gaps in the coverage. Like I don't get it. It doesn't. It's just not
yeah.
uniform all the way through. Where you gonna say, Kyle?
No, I was gonna say I just don't like the twist in general. I mean, his like faux hawk back in the day was pretty bad. That was
Corny,
like some
right? Like that was like
yeah,
10
it
years
was
ago.
I know that was like something
Like
guys had in like middle school.
Dwight Howard had
Like
that haircut before
yeah.
he left the Rockets, and you're gonna keep it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So I mean, but when he was in the bubble last year and a little bit before that, I thought it was okay. His haircut, but with the twist, I mean, it's not inherently bad, but it's just like,
But you
yeah,
see what I'm
I
saying on
don't
the
like it.
top, right? It's like
Y-
so thin, like
Yeah. hmm
Um,
It's that baldness he's getting from KD.
man, Harden should just go for a classic fro. How cool would that be? The beard
Yeah,
and the fro.
for
But
sure.
best haircut, Robin? You haven't mentioned.
Oh, I'll probably go Steven Adams. He didn't get a haircut, but I like his hair. It's
Yeah, yeah,
long. It's
yeah,
just natural. It's
yeah,
just
man.
looks like Aquaman, man.
We in pandemic year 2. Haircut means just the way your hair looks. It don't gotta be cut. I
Yeah.
have Demontis bonus. I like when he grew his hair out. He looks like Wolverine. I'm with it. That's a handsome dude. Good hair. Good smile. It's a whole package. So I'm with it.
Uh, I also think Steph Curry before he let his braids out. I really liked his
You like
haircut.
the braids?
Yeah, I like the braids.
What's
Uh,
unfortunate for Steph is when he revealed the braids. I don't know if you guys watched the NBA draft, the NBA lottery, the draft lottery when they got the second
mhm.
pick. Like man, Steph unveiled the braids, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh my God, these braids!" And it didn't help that the picture from the camera they were using, like the FaceTime camera, was like brighter than it looked like he was in the desert. Like he looked like he was sweating, like looking for water and sustenance with those braids on. Like, what is wrong with you? He looked so sweaty and just dehydrated. It just that first, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And that was the impression that I got. No offense to the braids, but just that didn't help when that's how I got introduced to them.
And then I was gonna say it's funny that you mentioned Steven Adams because I was gonna say Richard kind of looked he was just
Oh,
reminding me of
yeah.
Steven Adams
This
the
is my
hair
Yeah.
the beard. If you got tribal tattoos, I would think you could be Aquaman for Halloween.
it's got to grow another foot and a half and put on like 50 pounds of muscle and ooh, right there.
Grow some height, but you'll got
Yeah.
it, man. Everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Gotta stay committed.
No, but I mean, his hair
uh,
looks my hair looks a little like his. I take that as a compliment because he's got good hair, man.
mm,
And his
uh,
mustache is very manly.
And it's neat. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike Jimmy Butler's. That was like looking like a caterpillar.
yeah, but it was funny to me. It was funny like that it even like formed like that. It was like a good handlebar mustache. Like I didn't even know he could get that.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, how do you feel as an opposing player coming in and getting destroyed by somebody with a bad hairstyle or
Who
haircut? Like it
who
should
they
be
just
like
picked up off the
losing
street from
twice.
being homeless under the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this dude's putting buckets on me. He can't even go talk to girls like that, you know? But yeah.
Uh,
Eh,
uh, oh, go ahead, Rich,
No,
really
I was
quick.
gonna just say what else y'all might
Uh,
have to add because that's the end of
uh,
the categories.
I was gonna say, worst haircut. I mean, I
We're just ripping on people now. We're just gonna
yeah,
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
going down the
Kyle,
line.
this is Kyle. Kyle lives for this moment.
I know I live for this, bro. I was
Oh
waiting for
man.
this. No, I kind of want to say Jokic.
Oh, I mean, there's just no flavor.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but he kind of looks like a skinhead. I feel like if he had like a bunch of tattoos and I just saw him walking down the street and he wasn't a famous NBA player, I'd be a little scared of him. I'd be like, oh dang, bro, like I gotta
I
make
gotta
sure I
cross the
don't
street.
like
Don't
yeah, oh I
don't
gotta
cross
make sure
by
I
him.
don't make eye contact. But then
Well,
but then
uh-huh.
but then it also makes me wonder if his head wasn't shaved, how was his hair look? Like
Yeah,
would he
and
have
and even when you look back, you've seen his brothers are all gigantic, just like him, and he's the baby. He's the smallest one. But yeah, his hair is
Robin,
super short.
don't look like that, bro.
I,
Come on.
I wonder what it looked. I wonder what it looked like. But you said you're talking about Nikola Jokic's haircut. Mason Plumlee has the same haircut, like the
Oh
same one,
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
both
yeah.
of
got
them. Yeah.
almost none of the skills that Jokic has. So it's just more enforcing. Jokic can look however he wants to. He's a fucking monster. So
I
sorry, Plumlee.
like I kind of wonder if like he would have like maybe like bangs or something. And he would have to do a hair flip if he had if he grew his hair out. He would hit a little hair flip or like this once in a while or something like that. You
I
don't
don't know,
know.
bro.
This is
He
the
hasn't grown
most
his hair out.
energetic I've seen Kyle on this show talking
Bro.
about people's hair. Dude, maybe we should start every episode with like, "Hey, Kyle, give me your fashion
What
statement of
what
the
what
week," and then
trends
he'll
are
be
you
good.
seeing this week in the NBA?
Yeah, bro, you should have let me talk about the Karen situation with LeBron a couple
Oh
weeks
yeah.
back. You should have let me talk about it. I did my research, man. I was looking into it.
We're gonna start an IG live segment just for this. I think we found your calling, Kyle.
Kyle's do's and don'ts of the week.
Kyle's do's and don'ts. Ooh, I'm with it. Okay, that's enough pre-production at the end of this show. Is there anything else that you guys have to talk about basketball before we go into the All-Star break?
Uh, I was gonna say
Kyle's like, I'm out. I'm out of
no,
He's
no,
ideas.
like, "You
no,
lost me,
no,
not me."
no, no. I was gonna say I'm not done yet. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
done.
Oh, okay.
No, no. I was gonna say I would give a most disappointing haircut to Damian Lillard
Mm,
because I feel like he should look like me when I have a haircut. Like he should be like how my good friend and Jay says wavy wavy, But he don't got waves like that. He got little baby waves, like little you know little
little
puddles, like little
ripples.
drips. Yeah, little drips. Like
Kyle says
he
he's got
done
a
got
tsunami under there.
yeah. I don't know about right now. You're probably right. I got a tsunami right now. The water's looking real rough right now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna spare the listeners from any more of this hair talk. Oh my God. I'm
Kyle,
sorry I brought it up.
this is a whole different Kyle that I'm seeing right now, man. Kyle, where's this energy when we're talking about actually like shooting a ball? Like,
I played basketball the other day. Like it was fun. I missed it. Like it was the
Nice.
first time in literally a year. But unfortunately, I got paired up with one of those LA Fitness type dudes, short white dude with a do rag. Only shot
With the
threes.
do-rag.
Yeah, lost me the game. We were playing 2-on-2. We needed a two to win, and he shot nothing but dumb twos, and we lost the game.
Well,
And I was pretty mad.
thanks everyone
But
for tuning into this episode of Kyle's vlog.
I
Kyle,
was
bro.
I was so tilted.
Oh
Okay,
man.
anyways,
Kyle.
anyways, anyways.
Kyle, you. You lost me on this episode, man.
Kyle,
I'm not gonna
can
lie.
you
You
redeem
lost
yourself
me.
and tell everybody where to follow the show if they decide they want to keep listening to us?
Yeah, if you guys want to keep listening to us, obviously we're on YouTube, Twitter. We improved our handles on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Shot Caller Show. Uh, so at Shot Caller Show. There's no the in the at no more.
Uh-huh.
We matched it up so it's easier to find us. Also, if you look in our bios on Twitter, each of our bios on Instagram and Twitter, you could click on the link there. We have the channel on there, and then we'll also have links posted for YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything. We're everywhere. I can't even think of all the places where we're on.
Please like and subscribe. We
Yeah.
appreciate the
Leave
we
a
appreciate
comment.
you guys. Yep. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
We'll be interacting, and we
Yeah.
will be on the edge of our seats, checking out all the latest styles at the All Star Game this upcoming
Yeah,
Sunday.
that's a good point. That's a good point. People are gonna be dressed up at the All-Star
You're
game.
right.
Yeah,
There's
I'll
a-
tag
keep
us
my
in all
eye.
your styles and tag us and say, "Hey, Kyle, what do you think of this?" And let Kyle just go
Kyle
off on that.
Kyle rates. Oh man, I'm Rich. That's
Hope
Robin.
you guys enjoyed this episode.
That was Kyle rating the outfits, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh man.